So a new update dropped, and now you need to get some new mods for your companions. Well, you're in luck. Unlike many vendors that will have you locked behind standing, these mods can be acquired for conservation tags, which you can get in large supply with some very simple setup. I'll show you what you need to do to get the best results when you go on Safari. I'm Nick Engineer, let's solve a practical problem. If you're watching this shortly after release, you've got the chance to join me on the quest to conquer cancer. Catch full details on this at the end of the video. Getting into conservation in Warframe has never been easier. Step 1 to get started, you should have a trank rifle. They are cheap to acquire from either Sun or the business for 500 standing either way. There is no trank rifle available on Cetus however. Nothing else is technically required to get started. However, additional equipment will make your grind substantially easier. Consider picking up an invisible Warframe with a long duration such as Loki, Ivara or Octavia. By being unseen, you have fewer enemies harassing you and reduced chances of scaring an animal. Scared or injured animals give lower rewards, and ones which escape or die are worth nothing to you.
Track and trank. Trank! Do you understand?
Having an Archwing to get around the open worlds quickly is very helpful to have. The Itzal Archwing uniquely comes with the ability to go invisible while moving. If you need to target a specific creature, obtaining their echo lures from the relevant open world vendor will allow you to focus only them. You can also pick up pheromones there too, which can be used to increase the rate of finding rarer types when tracking. Enemy radar mods can help you spot the animal sooner using your radar in addition to the trank rifle and Mark 1 eyeball. This doesn't work for all animals however, so you can further aid this by turning on ally highlights to make your target glow a bit. Animal camouflage is in ruins with this. Finally, you may choose to skip using the trank rifle for actual captures, instead using sleep abilities like Ivara's Sleep Arrow or Equinox's Rest and Rage. I recommend Equinox because it's a faster cast, instant application, and only ever actually casts when it would be successful, so there's no risk of wasting energy. You can subsume Rest and Rage onto other Warframes via the helmet system, effectively then making Loki the best overall choice. Make sure to set your emissive color to a dark one to trigger Rest, not Rage. Enough preparation, let's get conserving. For all three open worlds, you have the choice of roaming for wild animals, allowing you to capture random spawns without lures, or tracking specific species to hunt particular rewards. Be mindful that some rare animals, like subterranean pobbers, cannot be found via roaming. Likewise, some animals, specifically Nexifera, do not have an echo lure for tracking. These can only be found by roaming their habitat. Yet other animals only appear during certain parts of the open world cycles, notably variants of Predicites, Vulpifilers, Avachia, and Underzoas. The roaming method is best done in your Archwing and with audio appropriately set to hear animals. Then set out onto the open world and fly about until you hear a target. Listen to the direction of their call as they spawn. Then, using your trank rifle to zero in, find where the animals are to be found. While the trank rifle is pointed away from nearby animals, a marker on your screen will point towards them off screen. Once the animal is on your screen, the marker vanishes and is replaced with a pulsing highlight on the target, visible through walls and terrain. You can use this to your advantage to slowly turn until the marker vanishes, showing you exactly where to look. Now if you're using your trank rifle for the capture, get close enough to the animal to secure the shot without getting so close as to scare them. If you're able to, now is the time to be invisible. Small animals will be pacified with a single dart, while others will require multiple shots. If you're using a sleep ability, exit from Archwing if you're currently flying, and put the animals to sleep quickly. Invisibility can help here, but most sleep ability attempts should be sufficiently fast. Once the animal is incapacitated, you can move up to them and interact with your normal interact button to complete the capture. Job done. This is very good for getting quick tags, and in the case of Orb Valis and the Plains of Eidolon, this can secure fast standing. On Deimos, you only get tags, which you will need to trade in if you wish to turn this activity into a standing generator. As for the other method of tracking a specific animal, the process involved is quite different. First, equip your trank rifle. This will mark the world map with starting locations, each colour and icon coded to each species. The icon should match the echo lure you intend to use. Mark a suitable location on the map and head to it by any means. At the marker, you should find animal droppings, which will allow you to begin tracking it. Interact to reveal a glowing trail, representing your Warframe's ability to track the creature. If you ever lose your way, backtrack to the last bit of the trail you had and try again. At the end of the trail will be a call point for the chosen animal. Now is the time to use your pheromones if you brought them, then equip your echo lure for the species. Hold the fire button to make an initial call with the echo lure to intrigue the nearby animal. When you hear a reply, it'll come from the direction of your chosen creature. If you can go invisible, do so now. You can tap quick melee to swap away from the echo lure to re-enable ability casting, then aim to switch back. With your lure equipped, tilt your camera up or down to line up with the marker on the echo lure UI. Again, hold the fire button to make your call, tracking up or down as the marker shifts. Be aware that this noise breaks Ivara's invisibility, but only briefly. If successful, the animal will be coaxed out of hiding from the direction you heard it. Check your enemy radar to detect the animal before it arrives. Prepare yourself with either your trank rifle or your sleep ability to incapacitate it for capture. Just like the roaming method, you can aim with your trank rifle away from the expected direction to get a handy marker to zero in with. Once you subdue the animal, either with sufficient trank darts or the guaranteed success of a sleep ability, simply interact to claim your reward and send the animal to its new home in the care of the conservationists. The tracking method has many more steps involved than the wild roam method, but is also much more efficient for finding specific species, especially higher tier animals. You can improve the rate you gather tags in a few ways. Resource boosters will double the number of tags you receive. Normally it's 1 for a bad capture, 2 for good, and 3 for perfect, granting a potential 6 tags with just a normal booster. Resource drop chance boosters have no impact. Do be aware, resource boosters do not increase standing gains. If you're specifically looking for Predasites and Vulpifilers to turn into companions, you will need to wait for them to become weakened. Any amount of damage dealt to them by another infested creature will do the trick. Conveniently enough, if an infested creature would reduce a Predasite or Vulpifiler to 0 health, it becomes recoverable as if you'd sedated it rather than it dying. Allies can also be a benefit in conservation. Everyone within 50 meters of a conservation claim receives the same rewards. This means that spreading out, hunting different targets, then joining up for the claims will give everyone a rapid gain of tags. Or maybe you have a generous friend who will bring you along on their hunts if they like doing the activity more than you. Finally, for your personal convenience, assign hotkeys to your gear wheel for the trank rifle. This allows you to draw or stow it at the press of a button rather than hopping into your gear wheel each time. This is very useful when using Warframe abilities or swapping in and out of Archwing, the latter of which you can also hotkey. With all these tips combined, you should be able to gather up all the tags you need in short order. Before you go off to save the lives of video game animals, I ask that you join me in supporting the quest to conquer cancer to save real lives. The Princess Margaret charity provides treatment for over 200 types of cancer, working to make it a less harrowing diagnosis. If every person who watches this video gave just $1, we would obliterate the amount raised last year. Support me and the wider Warframe community this year with the link at the top of the video description. Let's conquer a practical problem together. So as always, catch critters, beat cancer, and fight well, Tano.